Hey and welcome to Neverwinter with Aragon. So with Module 25 we got the new campaign in, and I'm finally gonna go and complete it. We only need 75 more currency to get to 1,000, and we'll get that by just handing in these 3 weekly quests. You'll end up with like 5 weekly quests. It's a bit crazy, but it makes completing the campaign every week very nice and quick. Those of you doing it on multiple characters will appreciate that. Oh, and they seem to have fixed the fact that you are able to claim multiple times on different characters the mount upgrade tokens and the 500 trade bars. So just be warned on that. That's going to be the next patch on Thursday. At this point, you should be able to reach 400 progress because we've had 4 weeks since the module went out. So if you've completed this far of 300 on multiple characters, make sure to push for that 400 before, I guess, tomorrow. So here's a heads up. Since you'll be able to get that 500 trade bars plus the 50 mount tokens on every character. Imagine you did 50 characters. Yeah, that's like 25,000 trade bars. That can be quite a significant amount of profit when you go and purchase certain items, and also character progression. Definitely a slip up, and I don't think the company intended it, as they have now revoking it and changing it back to be once claimable per account. However, getting to 1,000, we have now the campaign completed. We don't seem to get any quests right here, but we're going to claim the top reward. There we go. Campaign fully done. And that's a legendary insignia choice bag of the 3 new insignias. Except it seems to be stuck on claiming. Yes, a little bit stuck. I'm just going to relog. Logging back in, it grants us a stat there, and we get Whispers in the Dark, complete the Neverwinter campaign. There's our legendary pack. It's bound to our character, so we won't be transferring it, and the insignias themselves also bound on pickup character. That's, yeah, I don't appreciate that, but you can see those insignias. You have this one with crit avoidance and deflect, all right for tanks, not the best. Accuracy and crit strike, decent for a DPS, and then crit severity and outgoing healing, decent for a healer. I personally would claim the insignia and then convert it to dust. I would not go and upgrade it because it's a bound insignia. You won't be able to go and sell it or trade it with other players if you wanted to do so, like you can with the other insignia. So I would convert it to dust, and that's 250 powder per character you complete the campaign on. Is it per character though? I believe so. It's not turning into a bunch of coins. You should be able to get this on all characters. I don't really see why you can't. It's just a bit of extra dust then. Now we can finally actually activate this right hand side task here, which would give us 30 mount upgrade tokens. And it does say when you read through the text that this would change and become a different task giving different rewards. So we might check that out a bit later, but let's check if there's any store updates. There are indeed. You can see what you can obtain here. We now have Shade of Brunner, he's a vanity pet. Shade of Catty, another vanity pet. And then you have the Eye of Odran set you can purchase here. That's quite a lot of reagents needed to obtain the full set. You have the artifact, merely obtaining it on green for 250 elite sigils. Normally you only need 150 elite sigils for like the enchants here, and that's already pretty expensive since you're going to have to be killing those Drider captains mainly, or mini boss farming. A bit of a grind, and I would say the set's not worth it at all. They're asking 175,000 astral diamonds. You're better off just buying the assassin set or the tentacle rod set at this point. You can see you can then buy the reagents you will need to go and actually upgrade your Eye of Odran. You can see we have the artifact here, and if we want to go and refine it, you'll need these reagents. So your enchanting stones, your refinement points, and also then like the eye stalks to get it to purple. And it's got an upgrade chance, so you would have to like protect that with some preservation words if you didn't want to lose it, or you'd end up having to buy another one. Yeah, and then I assume you'll need the coil, the enchanted Hizakur, and then the prism to get to those other higher ranks. And then otherwise you still have the overloads there. With the insignias enchantments, nothing's changed here with your gear nor with your trial or upgrade. So yeah, just now the ability to get these 2 vanity pets and that set I personally will not go for it. However, people may very well want the artifact. We'll go and have a look. We'll purchase the eye stock. That's going to be 100,000 astral diamonds, 150 of these glyphs of warding, 100 of those elite sigils, and 60 of those Mensa brands in mint. So purchasing that, you can see it's now in our inventory. You can buy multiple of them, but here you can go and upgrade it to blue. You'll want to use preservation wards here to protect it. On the previous server, we're just going to make it 100% upgrade chance here because that costs us nothing. And then you can see to get to purple, we'll need the glyphs, enchanting stones again, and the refinement points, and then also the coil. So quite a heavy grind to get that artifact upgraded. But the difference with that artifact, if you look in your collections, is that the artifact can go to 1,500 item level. So people pushing for a min-max to get as much item level as possible will want to go for this artifact. That's you damage dealers. It gives accuracy, combat advantage, and control resistance as well. Giving accuracy and combat advantage, not bad at all. And then the extra item level will make it appealing for a secondary slot artifact. As for using it as primary, you can just read the tooltip itself there, and it basically reduces your maximum hit points and increases your action point gain, stamina, and movement speed for 10 seconds. I do not see the worth of this outside of maybe PvP or something, but it reducing your hit points kind of makes it not good at all. And it's again just a personal artifact, and right now in endgame it's all about using a debuff artifact to help your team during an artifact call. And we can use the artifact and you get this illicit sight like you would have with your soul sight crystal, and you basically get this fancy skin over your screen, and that lasts 10 seconds for the duration of the artifact, and our hit points have gone down, and when the effect is over our hit points should go back up. I mean, it didn't actually seem to reduce our hit points then. Interesting. Maybe that's bugged. But yeah, nonetheless, you would run the set then to increase the effectiveness of that artifact. So your maximum hit points would only be reduced by 5%. Okay, that might have been the case there. And then the stats gained are increased by 1% up to a maximum of 5% on that artifact. So you could essentially gain on Mythic 12.5% action point gain, stamina, and movement speed. I think the set's underwhelming. I think don't buy the set. Yes, you can buy the artifact and work towards upgrading it. Very expensive though. You can just add up the total amount of astral diamonds you already need. That's 100,000, 125, 150, 175. That's already 550,000 astral diamonds just to get this Eye of Odran. And that's excluding all the reagents you need to upgrade it, like your enchanting stones, preservation wards, glyphs, refinement points. So it's going to cost you nearly 2 million to get this thing to Mythic. Up to you if the grind's worth it, and you again need a ton of sigils. You don't get any special quests or anything for completing this, just again the legendary insignia and the ability to purchase and upgrade your Eye of Odran if you wanted to use it as a secondary, which again is viable, it's good, but very costly. Both time and resources. From here, you can grind some campaign currency and you can purchase these tasks right here, getting 30 mana upgrade tokens. I think your time might be better invested in just purchasing insignias and enchantments, especially the combat enchantments, and selling them. They probably are still at a pretty decent price to make some profit off that. Basically spending the time to grind it and then selling it, because this right here, 30 mana upgrade tokens, is costing you exactly the same 150 sigils as you would need for a combat enchantment. Things will balance out, and we'll see at later dates how worth these tasks might be eventually when the campaign gets kind of trivialized. So I done a bit of grinding, and 30 mini bosses later, we now have enough of those elite sigils to actually start this task. It's only going to take 10 seconds, but it'll give us 30 mount upgrade tokens, and you can see additional completions of this task on other characters on that account will have different rewards until the next week. So every week we can get 30 mount upgrade tokens, but you can complete this task again on another character to get a different reward. I want to check that out. 10 seconds later, we claim our mount tokens. I would prefer them to be companion tokens, to be honest, but I guess mount tokens is fitting with regards to us now getting the 4 slot mounts, so we might have to upgrade a few of those to get those bonuses. But once we've completed that task, you can see in the campaign it's locked and gives you a timer for when you can do this again. Unfortunately, the timer seems to be, 7 days, full 7 days. So not going to be resetting at the start of the week. You're still going to be limited by exactly 7 days from when you start this to when you end it. And yes, it seems we can do the task again, but only get 15,000 rough astral diamonds. If I switch character, we can see that that's not any different. Yeah, so every week it'll be 30 mount upgrade tokens you can get, and from there just 15,000 rough astral diamonds. No way in hell do I recommend getting 15,000 rough astral diamonds or even getting the mount upgrade tokens, to be honest, because right now those new combat enchantments sell for a decent chunk, and you're generally better off still buying and selling those. Just be aware of your market. I assume they're going to be vastly different depending on what platform you're on, and most of the time you'll just buy the flash and go and sell that on for a decent amount of astral diamonds profit. So hopefully this is somewhat insightful to you guys. That is Men's Brands campaign completed. Personally a little bit underwhelming, and I would have liked them to give us the artifact set just by completing it, but alas, you're gonna have to buy it. You're gonna have to do a ton of grinding. Massive thank you again to all of these channel members for their continued support, and we'll see you guys around. Goodbye for now.